Hello everyone, once again welcome to this new video. As you know, we are reading these days about synthesis, and we learned three rules of simple sentences. First was by using participle, second was by using a nominative absolute, and third rule was by using an infinitive. Today we are going to read further rules. And the fourth rule is by using phrase in opposition. Phrase in opposition. Opposition means together with noun. When in a sentence a specific quality is shown, and in other sentence another specific quality is shown about same noun. So while combining them, we put both of specific qualities together between two commas. That is called phrase in opposition. How? See here. Tagore was a great poet. Tagore was Bengali. He wrote Gitanjali. Tagore was a great poet. Tagore was Bengali. He wrote Gitanjali. Tagore, who was a great poet, was Bengali and wrote Gitanjali. We have to combine these three sentences. So, two qualities. First, great poet. Second, Bengali. We have to put them together between comma. How? Tagore, comma, a great Bengali poet, comma, wrote Gitanjali. This is phrase in opposition together with noun. This is noun and the special qualities are put between two commas with it. That is called phrase in opposition. One another example. Rahul is our class teacher. He teaches us well. Rahul is our class teacher. He teaches us well. Who teaches us well? Rahul, our class teacher. So combine Rahul, comma, our class teacher, comma, teaches us well. Sometimes in previous years, students ask me about this. Sir, tell us, first sentence is containing these second is in present indefinite, and you have used only teaches here where is. Or see here, in first sentence watch, second sentence is also watch, but in third sentence wrote. Was is missing here, and when I combine them, only wrote is used, was is missing. So, for your kind information, I want to tell you, you have to know that what we are going to make. You are going to make one sentence from three sentences or two or more than two sentences, and you have to keep in your mind whole of one sentence will be only in one tense. One sentence cannot be in two or three tenses, and two or three helping verbs cannot be used in same sentence. As here were three sentences. Tagore was a great poet. Tagore was Bengali. He wrote Gitanjali. These were three sentences, but when you combine it, it became only one sentence. And in one sentence, it became only in past indefinite tense. Clear? And here is also Rahul is our class teacher. He teaches as well. So it is missing here because we made it into present indefinite tense. Rahul, our class teacher, teaches us well. Rahul, who is our class teacher, teaches us well. Next, by using a preposition before gerund or noun. That means we have to use a preposition before noun or gerund. If we are going to use a preposition before gerund, then we have to write the first form of verb plus ing to make it gerund. Clear? Gerund is made by the first form of verb and adding ing, and we have to use a preposition here before gerund. If you are going to make a noun, then put noun and before it preposition. I think you have learned properly well about prepositions, but for your convenience, I want to repeat them. Some examples. Prepositions are at, in, out, between, among, along with, before, after. These are prepositions. So see the examples. How I will do it. Please see it attentively because every year I found students a great difficulty doing this whole fifth group. They face lots of difficulties to make this. So see it attentively. I will do it. I am sure. he finished his work, he slept. She failed in the examination. She heard the news. She fainted. She failed in the examination. She heard the news. She fainted. The police searched my house. I was not present at that time. That means when I was not at my home, the police searched my house. So these are four examples which we will have to combine by using a preposition before noun or gerund. See first, I will do it, I am sure. How can you combine it? Think about it. As much as you think, so much you can be able to do it. I will do it, I am sure. See here, I am sure of. This is the preposition. I am sure of. Now make it do. Do is first part. So use ing. I am sure of doing it. It is the solution of these two sentences. Clear? He finished his work, he slept. After finishing his work, he slept. In your board examination, only examples will come. They will not indicate you how should you do, how should you combine it into simple. They will only ask you turn it into simple sentences, combine it into simple sentences, convert it into simple sentences only. That means you can use any possible rule which can be possible. Here you can also use a participle because subject is common. So if you want to make it by using participle, then it will be such a finishing his work, he slept, or having finished his work, he slept. Clear? That means some examples of prepositions can also be done into by using participle. She failed in the examination. She heard the news. She fainted. Here two examples were by using gerund, because ing is added here. So this was the rule of by using a preposition before gerund. Now this one and this one is by using a preposition before noun. She failed in the examination. She heard the news. She fainted. On hearing, it is also by using a noun preposition before gerund, because here is changing to hearing. On hearing the news of, on hearing the news of her failure in the examination, she fainted. On hearing the news of, on hearing the news of her failure, on hearing the news of her failure in the examination, she fainted. The police searched my house. I was not present at that time. The police searched my house and in my absence. This is noun and this is preposition. The police searched my house in my absence, not in my absent. Absence is noun and absent is verb. Clear? So these two rules were of making a simple sentence from two or more than two simple sentences. Hope you will repeat it carefully and enjoy it. Do your exercises. We will meet in next video. Till then, goodbye.